Okay, doing a sound check. Can anyone hear me? Looks like Bucky's off to the timber yard. Must be building something. I always get to check my sound because my computer laptop is a gaming computer my son gave me a couple of years ago. And it's more powerful than I'll ever need anything for. But somehow the settings for the sound are not that good. So I apologise in advance. Getting cold here. I'm sure it's getting warm in the US. We're down to 9 degrees Celsius tonight, which is, I don't know, it's just cold. For us, it's cold.
Yeah, your sound is great, but every time you have a drink and put the drink down and go stuff, I can hear everything you're doing in the guzzling.
I'm slurping a drink,
everybody. Of the drink.
Listen. Carefully places a bottle of lemon cordial on the table not to disturb the audience. Yeah, we got friends in Canada, Bucky, some way up north, and they basically chip their way out after winter. And we've got friends in other parts of Canada, and it's been cold. I think the US has actually got more bad weather than you guys this year. Hello to Oki and Angel. I'll probably missed someone. No.
You missed me.
Oh, you're on the rev, eh?
Yeah.
Hello, Mystic. Nice to see you again. I think they might be in for a pretty nasty summer. We know we're going to get a very mild to cold winter. But it looks like the US has had a really savage, in places, winter, which usually follows with a savage summer, traditionally in the US if you look back on history. So I just hope the tornado season's not as predicted. Some people are saying it's going to be really nasty. It's the last thing people need to happen. All right, we're going to get underway shortly. Of course, the prizes tonight are just amazing, like they were the last couple of weeks. Last week, somebody won and had to pay for their own trip for two to Paris, staying in a five-star hotel. We did, and we are offering a postcard of the Eiffel Tower for that prize winner last week. Good morning, Megan. But no one's come forward to claim their postcard, so I'm not sure whether they've gone to Paris. This week, it's a trip for two to Rome. At your expense, of course, but we will have a postcard of the Colosseum sent to you after you send receipts, proof that you've been to Rome and spent probably $10,000. We will send you a 50-cent postcard of the Colosseum. I mean, people are saying that the prizes on this channel are unusually amazing, and you have to think about that because they are. He's from Paris, Ontario. We've got a Paris in Australia. We've got a Texas in Australia. These are towns. Just someone that went there in the bush the old days said, "Oh, let's call this place Paris." As the red desert sand blew and the tumbleweed went across the road and a couple of dead kangaroos, and the guy said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Looks just like Paris." Not really. Still got a lot of little old Australian towns, with just 200-300, same in the US, I'm sure. But most people have migrated to the coast. The city I live in, Perth, probably 3 million in the area. And we're moving shortly to be with a family member that needs our help. And we're happy to do that. We're going over to Sydney That has a population in the Greater Sydney area of about 4.5 million. So when people think of Australia and just the odd kangaroo and a bloke with a swag, a straw in his mouth, go, hey, here you go, mate. They think that, no, it's just as metropolitan as any place you've ever been. London, Paris, Rome, New York, Sydney's absolutely chaos. All right, we're going to get, sorry?
Chat.
Live chat. Oh yes, I'm always reminded, at the top of your chat, you'll see the words top chat or live chat. So we can sync with each other. Click live chat. That way, I'll be able to see who on my screen is first, and it should match what you get.
Hopefully.
Not always, but hopefully.
Like, no problem.
It's a great Australian singer called Peter Allen. Does anyone remember Peter Allen? He was gay, but that's fine. He was a good guy. He was married to Liza Minnelli at one stage. Don't know why. Being gay, a bit strange, but he did sing one of the greatest songs for Australia. You'd all know it, and I'll sing a few lines of it, and you'll get what song it was. I've been to cities that never closed down, from Megan's Place and Munce's and Bucky's Old Town. Sort of. I just made a bit of that up as I went along. Here we go. We're going to have the first question of the quiz, which is, of course, the prize. Good for two at your expense. Flying to Rome first class, your expense, but a postcard of the Colosseum sent by us after proof and receipts that you've been there.
Yourself.
Yeah, well, obviously you pay for it yourself. Good morning, Tony. How are you? Or could be Jeff, I'm not sure. Depends who's wearing the Superman suit this morning. Just at the top, Tim, if you're hanging around, click where it says top chat, click to live chat. Apparently, I could be wrong, people tell me that puts in sync the answers as you would see them, that I see them. For the first week I did it, I said, and the winner is, and they went, no, he was third. I'm thinking, well, first on my screen, someone said click the live chat. All right, question one. Drum roll, please. What is the commonest medical condition? What is the most common medical condition? It's well, it's near the tip of your tongue is the clue. It's near the tip of your tongue is the clue to that question. What is the most common medical condition? We have answers coming in from Bucky. Cold? No, it's not actually. Flu? No, it's not either, Mystic. What is the most common medical condition? HPV? No, it's not that. Nice answer though. Very close to chapped lips. What's close to chapped lips? Literally, what is very close to your lips? What is the most common medical condition? And if you think about it, after I give you the answer, if you don't get it, you go, of course. Tongue-tied. Extremely close to your tongue as well. There's over 20 of them in there. Tonsillectomy, no. Herpes could be in your county, Bucky, but not Jim. Herpes, no. Obviously, it's catching. Herpes is catching. Morning, Jeff. Runny nose, no. We'll give you another 5 seconds and then you'll kick yourself.
Give us a bit longer.
Wife's just giving me instructions. I'll have a drink of my lemon juice. The question is, what is the most common medical condition? I'm going to count down to 5, and if I don't get an answer correctly, I'll give it to you. 4, 3, 2, 1. We have TM movies coming in with Cotton Matt and Runny Nose from Mystic. You'll kick yourself. The most common medical condition on planet Earth is tooth decay. And you're sitting there going, of course, putting your finger in your mouth saying you have 9 missing on that side, got 4 holes on that side. It is indeed tooth decay, which if you lived about 1,000 years ago, the most common cause of death Tooth infection. Not making that up. That's true. All right, sort of a movie question. Tony Curtis was in which of the armed services in World War II? Tony Curtis was in which of the armed services in World War II? Actually, Bucky, on the bottom of YouTube, most people don't have teeth. I really don't think they do.
That's me.
What's your name? My name's Dad, and I'm just going to sing you a karaoke song. Jeff comes in with Army, but Tony comes in with Navy, and Bucky was right behind him. But the answer is Tony Curtis served in the US Navy. Very good, Tony. Unless it's not Tony, but I'm just going to call him Tony anyway. Bucky says Navy twice, but he must have 2 fleets. I'm not sure. Question. Which state is called the volunteer state in the United States of America? Which state is called the volunteer state? I'm pretty sure it could be a TM movie answer coming in pretty quick on that one. Jeff was in the Navy. Well, he had a big bath and a rubber duck. This is quite good enough. He served. Well, the videos proved he did. We have Yanking Chains with the correct answer. It is Tennessee. Lucky it's not Virginia.
What is that signature?
Yeah, Jeff, Tennessee. Lucky got it correct with TN. That's the abbreviation of Tennessee, of course. Another one. Here we go. Question. This is even easier. Which state in the United States is called the Golden State? Which state in the United States is called the Golden State? I still think it's on your license plates, actually. And Jeff's correct with California. Tony coming second with Cali, which is good enough. I don't care about spelling because I've already learned in the last 10 years I've been online, Americans cannot fucking spell. They usually throw a couple of numbers, you know, a star and a couple of, and I go, yeah, it's close enough. That's good. Like Bucky, N2Vada, which I know he meant Nevada, but see what I mean? Got no teeth in America and you can't fucking spell. Mind you, if you can't got no teeth, you can't even pronounce words, I suppose. Very hard to get rid of the vowels. Question. What colour is the M in McDonald's? Fucking all of the people at the bottom of YouTube should fucking know this one. You live there. What colour? What colour is the M in McDonald's? Jody gets it correct with yellow, even without the W. It's good enough for me. It is indeed yellow, which, of course, most people who transmit in vans in the United States, you know, the basically homeless who drive around in vans and eat dollar burgers, use all their access to the internet through the big M. They do say gold, actually, but it is yellow. That's the actual official colour. All right, here's one of my characters, favourite characters from this particular chain of movies, if you like. Question. In fiction, what was the last name of Dr. Hannibal? Jeff and Tony, would you like a nice Chianti? Hello, Scarlett. Welcome. Question was, in fiction, the movie, what was the last name of Dr. Hannibal? And correct answer comes in just behind was Jeff, but it was Bucky with Lecter. And Tony got Lecter, Scarlett got Lecter, and Oki got, what do they call him? Still talking about McDonald's. Okay, we're on to the next question. And Mr. comes in and says, lecturer, obviously a professor.
I can't spell.
I'd like to eat your liver, but would you like to join me first? Okay, another state question. US state. What is the Aloha state? Pretty simple. Fingers will be bashing away quickly. avoiding the volcanoes on that particular place. What is the Aloha State? And Hawaii is forever growing. Correct, Bucky. The answer is Hawaii. It's one of the well, it's a state, of course, of the US, but it's a country that is continually growing. There's land everywhere. Bucky got it right. Chains got it right. Scarlett got it right. And TM just smoked a reefer and said, "Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Where am I? Dave, let me in." Next question. Movie question. How did Greta Gustafson, I think it's spelt, Gustafson, become better known as an actress on the big screen? How did Greta Gustafson become better known as an actress on the big screen? What was her big screen name? Pretty easy, really. She was a bit of a looker. Bit old for me. And on my screen, Jeff has to go and fill a Walmart bag. Just make sure we get one without a hole. Correct answer first was Bucky with Garbo. Scarlett was right behind him with Garbo. I'm not sure if Tony's sharing the bag, but don't fill it up just in case. Question. Good answer, Natalie Woods. She drowned, of course. Terrible. Question. Albertville and Lilyhammer were two of the 1990s venues for which event? Albertville and Lilyhammer were the two 1990s venues for which event? Got one of our grandsons over tonight, and he figures that our house he can stay up all night. You just do that. I'm actually going to give it to Bucky, but Scarlett, you're quite correct. It was the Olympics, but it's specifically those two towns were in the snow. It was indeed the Winter Olympics. And Tony says rocking Russia. Seems like something that Mr. Trump might do if he pressed on the wrong button. What are you doing? I'm just making America flat again. Next question. Well done, Bucky, and of course Scarlett. But I had to give that one to Bucky. Okay. Some of these questions, they say simple questions, and I'm thinking that's not that simple, really. All right, my wife's got a couple of these. Scarlett said my screen shows I was first, the last two questions.
I'm going to have a look.
You were first on that last question. That was the Olympics, but it's the Winter Olympics. I did say you were first. But yeah, if I'm wrong, I'll just make sure the bouncers escort you out the room, so I'm always proven right. But you were right. You were first, but you said Olympics and not winter. It's all good. Here we go. Now, my wife's got a couple of these, like I said. The question is, the company Steiff, spelt S-T-E-I-F-F, are famous for making what? The company Steiff are famous for making what? And they do gain in value and they're a great investment if you're interested in collecting these, of course. And on my screen, first, clearly and recorded, screen captured, email will be sent with 3 copies of a written documentation signed by myself and witnessed by my wife, was Scarlett Poppyfield, with teddy bears. And Tony says butt tissue. He must be handing it to Jeff as we speak. Bucky says drill presses. Yeah, I'm not sure how to collect a lot of drill presses. What do you got in that back room? Seats? Oh, I've got a good collection of 1920 drill presses.
Yeah, stuff.
Brilliant. Yes, they are Steiff teddy bears. If you Google them, eBay them, you'll see that they are not cheap. Do you want to come and say hello to everyone? There's 40,000 people watching in this room. He goes, you want to say hello? Actually, if you just say hello, they'll hear you. He just said hello. Long we can't chat him up. All right. The next question is to do with television shows, and it's up in the top, my top favourite ever, because I love the humour involved with it. The question is, how many episodes of the cult TV sitcom Fawlty Towers were made? How many episodes? Now, I would have got this right straight away, because I know. This is one of my favourites. Mr. Fawlty. Stupid boy. There's a piggy on in the roof. The piggy on. Very funny. John Cleese, of course, in that. We've got Bucky with the correct answer. 12. There indeed were 12. A lot of people thought there were 6 to 8, but there weren't. There were 12. And if you've never seen Fawlty Towers, go watch it. Blackadder is in my top area too. I reckon Rowan Atkinson, Tony Robinson, of course, many other great actors came out of Blackadder. Okay, this question a lot of English people would get, but I don't think we have any English people in here. When I was a kid, we used to tie these when we dried them out in the oven after soaking them in vinegar, and we put on pieces of string and then belt each other's. Sounds weird already, doesn't it? Question is, which tree bears conkers? C-O-N-K-E-R-S. Which tree bears conkers? You used to dry them. So say, soak them in vinegar, put them in the oven, get really hard, drill them in, put a hole through, a bit of string, and then smash the other guys. And if yours didn't break, he'd smash yours. Yeah. Which tree bears conkers? Conkers is actually the game. We've got willow. I'm going to give it to Scarly Popperfield, even though there are many types. It was indeed horse chestnuts. Really big fucking things they are. They've got spiky green coverings, like they look like you imagine a porcupine green egg, about the size of a small baseball. That's what they look like. But you've got chestnut as well. It's horse chestnut. Used to love chestnuts when I was a kid. Oh, open fire, a bit of butter, bit of salt. Okay, question. Who plays against the United States of America in golf's Walker Cup? It's a nation. Only that nation plays against the US for the Walker Cup. Golf question. There's quite a few golfers in the room. Well, how do I know that? I can see your balls from here. Who plays against the United States in golf's Walker Cup? I think my grandson's fighting to go to bed. And Oakie's still on the McDonald's question. McDonald arches and gold, not yellow. Well, the official question I got was from McDonald's, and it said, "Yellow, Oakie, I want you to phone them. I want you to phone head office, wherever that is in the United States, and demand to speak to the top dog. And so you either tell me now it's gold or yellow. And if they say gold, sue them." No, it's not Australia. Questions are coming in, but Bucky got it first with England. The Walker Cup is played against Great Britain. And Bucky just threw in Australia, Canada. I think he's just going through the 192 countries of the world as we speak. Morning, Vinny. And it is morning where you are. Yeah, I got you, Okie, but I want you to phone. I want the answer now. This official question came from McDonald's and it said yellow. But if it's golden, I want you to get back to us as fast as you can. It's daytime down now. I'm sure you can get through it. Just tell them how important you are. And so, look, I need the answer now because I want a quiz with 5,000 people watching and playing. And the answer is yellow, damn it. Is it golden or yellow? I think it's metaphoric when they say golden arches, a colourful rainbow. Okay, question. Movie question, or actor question, I should say. Marlon Brando was born in which decade of the century? Obviously the 20th century. Which decade was Marlon Brando born in? You're talking to me. I get Louis. Cut the damn boss's head off. Good movies, The Godfather. Yeah, I'm not really into sequels, but they were good movies. Tony gets it correct with the 1920s. Not sure exactly, I think it was 24. I could be guessing, but it was definitely 1920s. Charlie got it correct with 20s. Bucky got it correct with 20. Vinny's in Australia, so he added another decade just for the hell of it. And Bucky then copied, after saying 20, he copied Vinny and said 30s. Okay, here we go. Question, music question. Who did Elton John originally do a duet with the song Don't Go Breaking My Heart? Over to you, Jeff Towers. This one should be in immediately. Who did Elton John originally do a duet with in the song Don't Go Breaking My Heart? All right, Megan, we'll start from the beginning. It's been going about 20 minutes now, so we'll start from the very beginning and we'll ask all those questions again. Of course, that means everyone else getting right straight away. Correct answer is, and I need to go up, I'm going to give it to Bucky, even though he says B Kiki. It was indeed Kiki D, and the correct answer came in also with Vinny, with Kiki D. Scarlet Pot had Kiki, Bucky Kiki something. Tessa Brown, good morning, had Kiki D as well. Actually, Tessa, you're in Adelaide. You're in South Australia, right, memory. Got a very good one. I'm pretty sure that's where you're from. But you're right with Kiki D. Vinny wins that one. I'm sure how that worked out. I had you, Bucky, saying B Kiki. Like I say, spelling is not that important to me. Question, sport question, tennis question specifically. How was Billie Jean Moffitt later known in the professional tennis world? How was Billie Jean Moffitt later known in the tennis world? Very, very, very good tennis player. Megan's got gastroenteritis. Did you get yourself a Walmart bag then, Megan? Megan says allergies. No, she was not known as allergies. King is part of the answer, and I'm going to give it to you because it is indeed the only change in the name from Billie Jean Moffitt to the famous tennis player Tessa of Billie Jean King. And very interesting story. Do you remember, I'll bore you a bit here as I can. There was some bullhead ex-tennis professional player that challenged, a male challenged Billie Jean King to a match. I don't know if you remember that. She kicked his ass. It was in the, get me wrong, late 70s. He wanted to make, I think, comeback big name for himself, but she kicked his ass. I think there's even a movie out about it. I'm not sure. Vinny answers the moonwalker. I haven't even asked the question yet. What is the dance step of, no, I'm just making that up now. Question. And I saw this. In which decade did people last get the chance to see Halley's Comet? Decade of the 20th century. Others, 50s, 70s, 90s, whatever. So I want the decade that the people last got to saw Halley's Comet. Jeff, with his Walmart. Oh, 911. What happened? I don't know, with the bags. Thingy Under the Tongue, 1980s, written by Vinny, is absolutely correct. But he came with 1990 first. Well, Vinny's correct with 1980. And I saw it. I just squint my eyes a little bit and lean off to the top of the roof, but I saw this paint like a little intergalactic fart in the heavens. I'm not sure if anyone else saw that. Someone said, did you see Halley's Comet? I said, yeah. Like a tiny sneeze in space. But I've seen it. I don't know if I'll be around to see it again. Now, the Australians are going to get this one straight away, but that's just too bad. These questions just unfold. Get lots of American questions. Question, where does Greg Norman come from? He's got a very strange accent now, Greg Norman. He spent that much time in the United States. Sounds American to us. But where did Greg Norman come from? No, don't need a specific Bucky. Canberra is not the answer. That's not true. Got the right country. Brisbane's not the right answer. I'm going to give it to Vinny. It's Australia, and indeed it was Queensland, but we just wanted the country. It is Australia. And even though Bucky had a city in Australia and Tony had a city, no, I'm paying Vinny with Australia, but it was Here we go. Bucky's pulling up any questions related to Australians firing off Tasmania, New Zealand. New Zealand's a part of Australia that broke off. Well, we pushed them away, really, but they keep coming back.
Delaware. Wait, is it going to Delaware, not Australia? No.
No, that's in the US. Megan says Kentucky because she's drinking. I'm not sure what it is. Could be high in alcohol content. All right, this is interesting. If you ever watch Sheldon on that crazy show, he runs a flag, you know, a little comedy section he runs under flags of the world. Well, this is a flag question. Here we go. Which country's flag is the only one that features the map of the country on it? Which country's flag is the only one that features the map of the country on it? And Megan says California. No, that's not a country, though they think they are. You ask anyone from California, they believe they're a country unto themselves.
I forgot the question.
Question is, that's right, in the Big Bang Theory. Tony says Iraq. No. Which country's flag is the only one that features a map of their country on the flag? Botswana is a great answer. It's a fantastic, it's an unbelievable answer, Bucky. But it's wrong. It is wrong. Which country's flag is the only one that features the map of the country on it? I'm a bit of a nerd that I actually knew this one. That's going to be tough for you. Italy's very close. Missed it, very close. Tessa Brown says, don't know. That must be near Dubbo. I'm not sure, but that's not a country either. Megan just says red because she's just punched 3 letters on the keyboard. I can spell and I have teeth. Obviously, you're not obviously welcome at the bottom of YouTube then, Megan, having teeth and being able to spell.
What's red, Megan?
Portugal's very close. The answer is, and it was a tough one, it is Cyprus. Greece was another good answer. Portugal was a great answer. And my wife says she can't spell, but she has teeth. True. It is indeed Cyprus, which is just what they do. They put the map or outline of the country on the flag. All right, for you. And Megan says fried chicken for you. So that's really sweet of you. Actually, get it Tuesday, Megan, because in Australia, Tuesday, chicken apparently is mainly half price in Kentucky. So I'll have my FCK, thanks very much, on Tuesday. I'll be waiting for the FCK voucher you're going to send me. Question, all for the religious people, and there are many. How many books are there in the New Testament? It's not a trick question, by the way. How many books are in the New Testament? So I chopped a little bit out of the old bugger and changed a bit, put a bit to the left, removed some embarrassing bits. Bucky O'Donoghue says 1. No, it's over 20. I'll give you a clue. It is over 20. So, Benny, it'd be more than 2. 16 is wrong, even though I said it was over 20, Tony. Would you like a nice candy? Megan. No, it's not Fabia Beans. 22 is close, but it's not really close. It's in the 20s. And I know what Bucky's going to do now. Just around with 26. 1 off, Tessa. Bucky O'Donoghue with 23. Megan says Hawaii, which was the question I asked half an hour ago. Scarlett says 26, 1 off. Vinny says 2 times 13, which is again still 1 off. And Bucky eventually got the correct answer with 27. There are 27 books in the new, the book of this and the book of that, etc., etc. I don't know how many books there were in the old one, but there were more than 27. Yes. 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 Holmes, we'll have to check that out. Here we go. Question. What name is given to a courtyard in a castle or the wall surrounding the outer court of a castle? That is a mouthful. Megan says she quits. I'll get the bouncers to escort you to the door. Come here, lady. Hey, lady. You want to buy some tickets? Never heard of her. Question is, what name is given to the courtyard in a castle or the walls surrounded the outer court of a castle? Palisade is a fantastic answer, but that's a defense system of walls made up of either poles and whatever. Moat is a good answer, but it's not. But Leroy Jenkins gets it correct with bailey. That's what it's called. Now, if you're obviously in Ireland, you'd have an Irish bailey. Just kidding. It is indeed. I love, if you ever watch, did people here ever watch Time Team? Time Team with Tony Robinson. Did you watch that? There was 20 years of it on Channel 4, I think, in the UK, but we got it in Australia. And I love history. All the things to do with baileys and moats and castles. And Leroy cheated. Leroy cheated? I thought it was a very quick answer. Bit tough. Not jealous much, are we, buddy? Not really. All right. Question. What is the world's most widely spoken native tongue language? What is the world's most widely spoken language? Bucky comes in with Winter Olympics? No. Bucky. You're either drinking or not drugging enough, or the other way around. What is the world's most widely spoken language? It's not Spanish. But think about populations for a second. Then the numbers will roll with the answer. French? No. You see, French is not dying, Vinny, as you know, but it's being breached with English. Indonesian, Hispaniola? No. English, certainly not English. What is the world's most widely spoken language? I'm going to give it to Tessa Brown. It is actually Mandarin, which Scarlett came in with, but I don't really care about the answer. The answer is Chinese Mandarin, which are prime. Eh?
They're a tie then.
No, I don't do ties. I don't do ties. Tessa Brown, first with Chinese, Scarlett Potterfield with Mandarin. Could have been an orange. Pass is a good answer, but it's not. Unless you're having a Shawana, you don't need to speak fussy Japanese. That's good answer. But here's another question. This is interesting if you follow history of the royal family. Question is, in which year of the 20th century did 3 monarchs reign? In which year of the 20th century did 3 monarchs reign? Part of the answer, Leroy. Don't want to know who they are. I want to know what year. Which year? 20th century? No, definitely not 1965. George should have been a hint from Leroy. 1952, got to go lower. A lot lower. I'll give you a clue. It's 3 years before the outbreak of World War II. 3 years before the outbreak of World War II. In which year of the 20th century did 3 monarchs reign? Three years before 1939, Leroy is correct. It's 1936. Do you want to tell them why, Leroy? It was the death of a king. It was his replacement who abdicated and someone else took over. What extraordinary. Extraordinary. There we go. Question. Bucky's on a numerologist's nightmare. These questions are a little bit harder.
No hard question.
There we go. Question. Here's a question. John Bonham, who died at age 32. John Bonham, who died at age 32, was the former drummer of which rock band? John Bonham, who died at age 32, tragic loss, was the former drummer of which rock band? It is indeed Bucky O'Donoghue's Stairway to Heaven. It was indeed Led Zeppelin. John Bonham was the drummer who died. Definitely wasn't AC/DC. Megan Fox, correct. Led Zeppelin. Megan Fox is saying, is your pronunciation of Bonham correct, or did you say Bono? No, Bonham, B-O-N-H-A-M. Pronounced Donnelly. Yeah, it's Gaelic, isn't it, Bucky? The originality of your surname. And you did cheat. That's fair enough. We'll just take all of your score from the last 3 weeks and start you 1-0. Question. What was traditionally made by a chandler? What was traditionally made by a chandler? C-H-A-N-D-L-E-R. So, what was traditionally made by a chandler? Bucky comes in straight away with chain, which is incorrect, but I see where you come with that one. Chandler, chain, yep. Not yet. Leroy, bone mill, no. What was traditionally made by a chandler? C-H-A-N-D-L-E-R. The older folk in the room would have got it, like me, straight away. Professor Brad says rope. It's a good answer, but it's incorrect. Lamps is close, but it's incorrect, Megan. It is C-H-A-N-D-L-E-R, and Leroy Jenkins has the correct. It is indeed candles. A chandler used to make candles with rope. That's why I said you were close, Professor. That's how candles were made. Do you know the original candles? I'm going to bore you again. Why? Because I can. Candles were made by monks and nuns, and how they used to make them is dip little tiny bits of string in wax, heated wax, pull it out, let it dry, put it back in, pull it out. I'm not kidding you. It could take up to 2 hours to 3 hours to make one church candle. And you can say, what did you do today? Oh, I made 3 candles. You must be knackered. Question, who has won more Oscars than anybody else? You should get this one because it's obvious. Someone isn't watching me live. I'm not sure what that means. Probably me. Who has won more Oscars than anybody else? It's very obvious. Spelling doesn't matter, especially when Bucky comes in with Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep is incorrect. Adam Sandler, no, certainly not. Meryl, no, definitely not Meryl Streep. Scarlett Popper's correct, but candles, no, it's not. That was previous. A bit of lag there, Scarlett. There's no way about a lag. Robert De Niro is a great answer, but it's incorrect. Think about it. It doesn't have to be, and it isn't in this case, anything to do with an actor or actress. It's not them who have won most Oscars than anyone else. Who has won most Oscars than anybody else? It's not an actress and it's not an actor. So it's a director or a producer. Probably. And he also owns many different series now, like R&B Jack Sparrow. Who has won more Oscars than anybody else? No, it's not Scorsese. It's a good answer. The answer is correct with Bucky O'Donoghue. You'll kick yourself. It's Walt Disney. He's dead. But he has won more Oscars than anybody else by a long way. Think of all the movies that Walt Disney have won Oscars for. Indeed, Walt, as we speak, is like a large ice cube. He is. I'm not making this up either. He's one of the very first who went into the cryo, Jimmy.
His name was Walt Disney.
His name was Walt Disney.
Yeah, just Leroy says the company or person.
No, his name, Walt Disney, his real name. And Walt Disney, as we speak, is cryogenically frozen. I'm pretty sure Walt died of old age. Don't know if they're going to bring him back in the year 2050 and say, we've got a cure for you. Oh, no, you're right. You died of old age. You're fucked. Millions upon millions of dollars. You can individually be frozen for the future. Can you imagine just some of the bottom of YouTube being cryogenically frozen in their B-class van and thawed out in the year 2050? No, the thought beggars the thought. Question. Hello, Dory. Question is, the term pulmonary relates to which organ? The term, medically, pulmonary relates to which organ? It is indeed cryogenics. And Walt Disney is a large ice cube. Megan says she likes it cold, like a man. And the answer is indeed. On my screen, Scarlett with lungs, followed by Leroy, and Megan's close with heart. Jessica got it correct with lungs. Mystic said kidney. Embolism, that can occur in them. You can have an embolism just about anywhere. Right, next question. You've got to get this right. And I'm going to give you a question that's not a question. It's more sort of a statement. I'm going to bore you again. The only state in the United States that grows coffee. That's a question, but it's not part of the quiz. What is the only state in the United States that grows coffee?
I think it's
be interesting, because you Americans drink tons of the stuff, but only this state grows it, on a commercial level anyway. And it's quite correctly right. It's Hawaii. Only Hawaii out of the 50 states grows coffee. Yet Americans consume 5 gallons of coffee each per day. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it's really bad lag down.
Pretty bad lag?
Mm.
Oh, well, I am 13,000 miles away on the space station. Here we go. So this is related to the next question. Which country is the world's biggest producer of coffee? No, it's not Hawaii, so don't put Hawaii in here, right? Got about 15 minutes and we'll be done. The winner will be announced of that fantastic trip for 2 to Rome. Of course, you'll be paying for that yourselves, and I'll be providing a 50-cent postcard of Coliseum. We have the correct answer coming in. Colombia was a great answer, and they are a large producer of coffee, but it's Brazil. And on my screen, I'm pretty sure it was Scarlett.
Yes,
Scarlett was first with Brazil.
But he spelled it wrong.
Bulgars. That's a good answer. It's the wrong answer. That's a good answer. Cuba. But Colombia is one of the biggest coffee growers as well, but it is indeed Brazil. Question. Now, these are a bit tricky questions, but they're not really when you work it out. Question is, magician David Kotkin managed to change his name to what? It's simple. Magician David Kotkin managed to change his name to what? And a lot of you are going to come up with Tony Mullins, but that's incorrect. Nothing to do with Tony, even though he's magical and does some weird and wonderful things with his wand. And on my screen, very close, but Bucky was just ahead of Scarlett. Let me know how that worked out for you, Scarlett. Did you see yourself just behind Bucky? This lag is playing a part in that for sure. Megan was correct with coffee field as well. Tony says the main in Kreski. Coffee field correct with Tessa.
You see Bucky first or Scarlett?
I see Bucky first, just ahead of Scarlett.
Yeah.
You just got sued. Well, maybe you can make the fucking lawyer disappear, Megan. Who's that smart? Scarlett said my leg is much better now, which means it's probably worse. All right, here we go. I'm bypassing some of these questions because they've got to do with education. And not having any teeth and not knowing how to spell, what would be the point? Seriously. A bit cheeky, aren't I? All right, question. English lover comedy fans of TV English comedy. Question is, who played The Undertaker in Dad's Army? Who played The Undertaker in Dad's Army? If you don't know what Dad's Army is, you'll never get the answer. Benny Hill, it's a good answer. English comedian, no. Adam Sandler, not English. Obviously not the correct answer, or even close. Only probably an Australian or an Englishman would get a Ted Nugent. It's a good answer. The Undertaker. Yeah, I didn't know he was the Undertaker, but he was. Who played the Undertaker in Dad's Army? Roger Moore. My name's Bond. But you're too posh at speaking. How can you be Bond? Well, they pay me a lot of money. Oh, I'll give you the answer because it is a bit tough. The Undertaker in Dad's Army was John Laurie. Okay, Google that. Sean Connery would never been seen dead in Dad's Army. It was a sort of sitcom in the 60s. Arthur Lowe, of course, was Captain Muttering, as Leroy points out clearly. John Le Mesurier was the sergeant who was really just far too vague to be anywhere. All right, here we go. Question. About 10 minutes to go, and they were gone. And the announcement of the major prize winner will be given. Question. Mozzarella cheese is made from the milk of which animal? Mozzarella cheese is made from which animal? And the answer is correct with Megan, but I have no clue. Bucky comes in with goat, Leroy comes in with cat, Tony comes in with goat. I'm not sure what you're doing with these goats, guy. Cow from Bucky. Scarlet Popperfield has the correct answer. Buffalo. And you can make mozzarella with other milks, but that's apparently the original way it was made in dough was buffalo. And then Tessa says buffer. A nice bit of buffer. You can retract it, Tessa, but I can still see it. Tessa says buffer. Sounds like an encounter with a young person when you were younger. What are you doing? I'm just having a quick buffer. Here we go. Question is. Now, you should all get this, even though some of you, because you can't write, spell, or read, you wouldn't use one of these. If you've got teeth to chew on them, maybe some of you. Question is, what do the letters HB stand for on a pencil? I know you did. I know you meant buffalo, but it was more funny when you said buffer. Seriously. What do the letters HB stand for on a hard pencil?
I think
hard was a clue.
Fine.
Half of the answer, actually. It's hard something. What do letters HB stand for on a pencil? Hackenbrach. It sounds like a beautiful stew or broth. Oh, a nice boiled Hackenbrach. Thank you, lady. Maybe refresh.
Yeah.
F5's good, apparently. Hash bomb. Great answer. Seriously. Okay, what colour is a bloody pencil? Seriously. What do the letters HB stand for on a pencil? Correct, Leroy. With hard black. It's a struggle. I have to do your reports at the end of the year, guys. Now, all of you need to lift your game. That's all I can say. Pull your finger out. Okay, here we go. Now, don't think of this word being a man-made one. All right. But here we go. The question. This is a celestial, a solar question. What is the largest satellite in the solar system? It's been used in Star Trek. It's been used in Doctor Who. It's been used on any science movie show I've ever seen. What's it called? What is the largest satellite in the solar system? No, I told you, it's not a man-made thing. It's a planet, as far as I'm concerned, but they call it a big satellite. Doing the report cards now. Tony Mullins attends occasionally. Tessa Brown. Certainly needs to do a spelling. Okay, what is the largest satellite solar system called? I'm going to give it to you because it's a bit hard, but you'll know it when I say it. It's called Ganymede. 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 Been used on all the science TV shows, movies you can imagine. But he's just checking his Uranus, but it's not that either. It's Ganymede, which I suppose is a hard answer, let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right, for all those people. So shame Sunny's not here with this question because I'm sure she'd get it wrong anyway. But the question is as follows. Who is the patron saint of doctors? Who is the patron saint of doctors? Patron saint being like who's St. Patrick, he's the patron saint of Ireland. But who is the patron saint of doctors? Ian says, Ganymede.
That's the last question.
No, it's not Hippocrates. No, it's not that. It's a saint. Doctor Who is not saint. Saint Stethoscope is a fan. Oh, I'm going to give you a golden star for that. Anyway, it's wrong. Did you get the golden star for the night, Tony? Because that's funny as fuck. St. John, Hippocrates, which is, I know what you're saying, Tessa, but it wasn't spelled like that. Luke is correct. Leroy Jenkins comes up with the correct answer. The patron saint of doctors is St. Luke. And there are many schools and universities and campuses named St. Luke, primarily in the medical area of education. Here we go. All right, now since you all do, some of you have older type bones, like me, but this is the question. What is the study of fossils? What is it called? What is the study of fossils? And Oki comes in with St. Jude. There's a hell of a lot of lag happening.
Yes, there
Going
is.
to Disneyland. I apologise for the lag. Not really. Can't do anything about it. Irrelevant.
Yummy has had a problem all night. Really bad.
Question was, what is the study of fossils? The answer from Leroy Jenkins is correct with paleontology. And we've got geology of some sort from Bucky, which we're good. Anthropology, not quite right, but it's in the same sort of digging hole, if you know what I mean, Scarlett. And Mystic says fossiling. Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. Megan says boredom. I'm sorry, I'll get off shortly. And Tess says pantalogue. I'm not sure if that's a seductive piece of clothing that you've got there, Tessa. Nice sort of pair of pantalogues. All right, here we go. If you ever seen this on television from Brazil, you'll probably get the answer. The South American city of Brasilia is built in the shape of a what? The South American city of Brasilia is built in the shape of a what? Good answer, Bucky, with the spaceship. I'm actually going to pay Cross, even though the answer, I'm giving it to Scarlett Popperfield with Cross, because it has that bearing meaning, but it's actually in the shape of an aeroplane.
Oh, well, Leroy,
which is weird.
Leroy said aeroplane.
Yeah, but above Leroy is Scarlett Popperfield with Cross, and that's the shape of it. If you want to check out Google, you know what I'm talking about. And it's a metaphor for cross, I guess, but it looks like an aeroplane. Now, this question, I'm telling you the truth here. This won me. I went on a television show many years ago, $1 million show, and I did end up winning about $35,000. The very first question I got was this question. I kid you not, this was the question. Question: which sporting legend is known as the Golden Bear? That question won me $5,000. So I got it right. But you're not getting $5,000, by the way, if you get it right. I got $5,000 because I was on TV. I was an international superstar for 12 minutes. And the answer is indeed the Golden Bear, Bucky, is first Jack Nicklaus. And Leroy got Nicholas. Jack Pummett. Not sure. Palmer. You're thinking of Arnold Palmer, Tony, maybe? Or is that his cousin, Jack Pummett? Oh dear. You're welcome, Megan. I'm about to close very shortly. And there's a couple more questions to go. One of my favourite comedic actors is the answer to this next question. Question: who is the star of the film The Missionary? And I'm going to get some weird and wacky wankers answers to this. Who was the star of the film The Missionary? Male actor. Also part of the original Monty Python, Adam Sandler. I know you wanted one of the answers to be Adam Sandler tonight, Leroy, but it's not. It's an English actor. Leroy. Bucky is sitting right next to Leroy, leaning over, saying, yeah, that was good. Yeah. Who was the star of the film The Missionary and one of the main actors in Monty Python? He was one of the main actors in the fish slapping scene. He was one of the main actors in the dead parrot scene. And Bucky got one half of it, but that's not the answer. Who was the star of the film The Missionary? And it is the other half of John Cleese's skit in the dead parrot scene. Just as I said, already heard, I said John Cleese's intro, but you put John Cleese in anyway. Who was the other character in the skit The Dead Parrot Scene? Name of the actor. That's not even the question. The question was, who was the star of the film The Missionary? Very funny too. Very funny actor. He did a lot of tours, he did a lot of traveling the world, had his own travel show. This is sacrilege that no one has got the correct answer. Who is the star of the film The Missionary? Bucky just covers the whole field by saying Monty Python, Sid Barrett, Tony. 5 more seconds I'm going to give it. Howard, no. I wonder if any of you could name all of the Python original crew. That'd be interesting. But this question is not really kindly. You'll kick yourselves. But the star of the movie, The Missionary, and the person who played opposite in the parrot sketch and the fish lapping scene was indeed, Leroy's got it very late, with Michael Palin. If you don't know Michael Palin, Google him. He is funny as. Very, very funny. Someone's put in Elliot. I'm not sure. Howie Mandel. Okay. All right. Here's a couple more questions and we will finish on a couple more and we're done. Now, for all those Shakespearean lovers, and I know the room is full of highly educated Americans with degrees and you can name it, they've got them. The question is, the course of true love never did run smooth, which of course is a quote from which Shakespeare play? The course of true love never did run smooth. I don't want any like Brazilian joke, shaving sort of thing, nothing like that. The course of true love never did run smooth comes from which Shakespeare play? Well, that's where he was born, Bucky, Avon-on-Trent. Othello is a great answer, it's incorrect. Romeo and Juliet, another great answer, it's incorrect. Not many people, I don't suppose, read or see or watch anything to do with Shakespeare much these days. Mr. Angel comes in with Monty Python. Just think of Shakespeare plays and give answers to that. Moonlight Sonata is not correct. Romeo and Juliet's not correct. I'll give you the first 2 parts of the answer. But you need to give me the rest. The course of true love never did run smooth comes from the Shakespeare play A Midsummer. You need to give me 2 more words for the correct answer. A Midsummer. And we have it with Leroy. A Midsummer's Night Dream. Wouldn't hurt a lot of you just to go away and Google or YouTube a few Shakespeare plays. They are a little hard to understand because of how they're interpreted.
Yeah, more
But
like
they are very interesting when you get to understand them. We've got Day Beers. It must have been a Shakespeare play I missed. Bucky says the Shakespearean play, Day Beers. Okay, here we go. Very sad, this one, but question, music question. Brown-Eyed Handsome Man was a hit song for what singer after his death? Brown-Eyed Handsome Man was a hit song for a singer after his death. Not Johnny Cash. I go down and a ring of 5. John Denver. Plane crash, terrible. Great loss to the world, Johnny Denver. No, not John Denver. I'll give you a clue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue. What song, Brown-Eyed Handsome Man, was hit for a singer after his death? Roy Orbison. Never sung Peggy Sue. Trust me. He had glasses, he was skinny, great singer, a few great hits, Johnny B. Good, Ray Charles, no. Brown-Eyed Handsome Man was the song for a hit singer, and his initials are BH. Obviously BH wouldn't give you Stevie Wonder. Tony Mullins gets it correct with Buddy Holly, one of the greatest. Of course, Richie Valens, Big Bopper, terrible, all gone in a moment. Which is terrible. If you know, if you love music and the history of music, there's been some real tragedies, and it's usually to do with aeroplanes, which is, I suppose. Huh?
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry. No, Chuck Berry played the guitar. Was a little darker toned in skin, Leroy. Just a hint there. Just a little bit. All right. I suppose this would be an appropriate question to end the quiz. Question, and this is the golden question. You get this correct question first, you will win a trip for 2 to Rome this week. 7 nights accommodation, 5-star, all the way, but you pay for it. And when you give us receipts of where you've been and what you stayed for, we will send you a 50-cent postcard of the Colosseum. I know, it's just unbelievable. We get told often our prizes are just incredible. The question, the golden question for anyone who gets it correct first is, in the Bible, who was the wife of King Ahab, spelt A-H-A-B? In the Bible, who was the wife of King Ahab? Golden question, first in, and you'll be off to here, Feli. Give me my pizza. In the Bible, who was the wife of King Ahab? One word answer. Some women are called this inappropriately, of course. Methuselah is not the answer. Samantha is not the answer. Hard question again. Not really. Well, in a tongue-in-cheek, the winner of this week's competition, without question, is Leroy Jenkins, who says, Bucky, you Jezebel. Very clever. And deservedly a winner for 2 first-class tickets, accommodation in Rome, which you'll be paying for, Leroy, yourself. All you need to do is send me 3 copies, hand-signed by the attendants at the airline, the hotel, where the cab driver, that you were in Rome, and we will send you the 50-cent postcard of the Colosseum. Not much else can be said. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Leroy, this week's winner on the golden question, with the answer, Jezebel. Well done, Leroy. I'm a harlot and a Jezebel. I can believe that, Bucky. Thank you all for attending. Short and sweet tonight, because we're going to bed shortly. But I do hope you had a great day. I can say that I have enjoyed the quietness, the serenity on the bottom of YouTube. Very passive environment, very peaceful. One would ask, how long would it last? My answer would be, as long as it can. To all of you, and I wish you all to have a great day. And when you do go, may your God, whoever that may be, go with you. So good night to one and all. See you next time.